What's made me fascinated by what you have done since the election, which is you seem more comfortable with contradiction and paradox in your own person than most people I see in politics. So I think you could have said after the election, there are two lanes for a Democrat, right? You can say we got shellacked, a word that only exists when Democrats lose elections. I've never heard that word used in any other context. We got shellacked. And we have to reach out to MAGA people. We have to listen. We have to talk to the other side, go to the diners. Or you can be, we need the resistance. We need to fight back. We need to troll them the way they're trolling us on social media. That, those were sort of two different ideas you hear. And your answer was, yeah, both.
Yeah, I said, look, my favorite book, one of the most influential books, interesting in my life, is called Built to Last. It's about the tyranny of war versus the genius of and, both and. Moving away, forgive me, I hate the vernacular of, moving away from the binaries, but I really believe that. I mean, it is both and. And it's to find, look, I come from a reality-based experience as a small business person. There's a practical reality. You got to implement your ideals. Again, none of this is an intellectual exercise, and you got to deal with cards that are dealt. You can still, and I have been as progressive and adventurous in terms of progressive policies as most, if not all, Democratic governors in this country. As former mayor that did same-sex marriage in 2004, where my party was attacking me for being too progressive. Same time, I was also advancing Care Not Cash program to take welfare away from homeless and guarantee housing in lieu of cash, because I didn't believe in the handout framework. I believed in opportunity and responsibility, more of a Clintonian frame in that. So I was both and. So I was trying to show not only respect to who I am in the past in my truth and authenticity, but also show respect to those I disagree with, because I do respect people I disagree with. It's not a zero-sum game. I try to work with Donald Trump. I was on the tarmac with him. I was probably, no governor in the country worked with him more closely during COVID than I did. At the same time, no one's been more aggressive, to your point, trolling and attacking back on Trump. I started when he got elected, said I want to work with him, or when he got elected. But I started with a special session of my legislature, the only state that did this. As I said, I want to work with them, saying it's trust but verify, and fortified our litigation posture. And this is the reason we have almost close to 50 lawsuits against the Trump administration, have led the country, because I knew it was going to come, both and. So it's, to me, not a paradox necessarily. It's not a contradiction. It's the human experience. That's all.
There's also a dimension where you've been working very effectively, I think, on the attentional level of politics. I think the great sin of Democrats, attentionally, in recent years, is that they are the party of the institutions. People got all A's, went to Harvard. And when you go through a lot of institutions, you're informed by them, you become careful and cautious. The thing you don't want to do is offend everybody at a meeting.
Yeah, well said.
And that worked for a previous era of attention, when everything was decided by who the New York Times decided to cover, by who would get on network news. Yeah. In this era,
Ezra
attention
Klein's
comes
podcast.
from, although that doesn't work for me, because I won't have anybody on as boring. Podcasts do not like people who speak in a very structured way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You can't do a podcast, a good podcast with a politician, when you can watch them buffering before they answer for you. It's in this, like we've been talking for a long time, in this medium for this long, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's a way that the mediums change who succeeds in them.
That's true too.
You seem pretty comfortable with risk.
Yeah.
Your debate with Ron DeSantis, it was on Fox News with Sean Hannity moderating. I went back and watched that the other day.
That is wrong. That's being a liberal bully. That's being a bully.
Really?
They had Down syndrome and you wanted to discriminate against them.
$27 million
They were discriminating against
special
because they were discriminating against the athletes. They wanted to marginalize the athletes, and you wanted the athletes marginalized.
God help you.
God help us all. And I've met a lot of Democrats who they're more worried about things going wrong in their communication than something going right.
Ezra, I'm a fail forward fast guy. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I got a 960 on my SAT. I wasn't one of those straight A students at Harvard. I can't read. You've never seen me read a speech. I can't read a speech. I have severe dyslexia, a learning disability that has defined me and who I am, my struggles, my insecurities, my anxieties, but also my willingness to try new things and learn from my mistakes.
Got a lot of facts you've been spitting me. How do you learn?
It's just I absorb a lot. I observe. It's just harder. I have to do hundreds and hundreds of reps. For one, some folks, do 1 or 2 reps, but in that process, you overcompensate and you then develop all of these other skills that have been gifts. It allows you to read a room. It allows you to pivot, allows you to be a little bit more flexible. Yes, dare I say, even more authentic. And so that's who I am. I can't be someone I'm not. I'm not good at being someone I'm not. I'm not comfortable faking it. And there's so many things in politics I'm not good at. The one good thing, though, is I think politics is radically changing. I think it's rewarding a little bit more authenticity. I think Trump is sort of broken through this morass. We're all getting roughed up a little bit here, and we've all made mistakes. We haven't talked about my legendary mistakes, and you got to own up to them, and it's who you are. It shapes you, as long as you learn from them and don't repeat them. And so I'm just constantly trying new things. I don't have all the answers. I seek them. But again, with a willingness to fall flat on my face. And I try to govern in that space. And so I'll take the hits. We tend to be months or years ahead of others on a lot of issues. And that's risky. And you get a lot of arrows in your back, but you also pave the way for others to be smarter and learn from that and tack in a perhaps more electorally successful space. So I'm happy to be that guy. I don't need to be president. It's not about that. I didn't wake up with some strategic plan. The idea that I'm even sitting here and people talk about this that's beyond me. I thought I went last through a recall. You talk about humility. Seeing your name on a recall ballot, having your kids, one of my kids had to be homeschooled because it was so humiliating for her. Can't go outside. You can't walk the streets without seeing signs. And getting through that and getting the other side and dealing, this has been a hell of a 7 years as governor of California. The most blessed and cursed state, from historic wildfires and droughts and floods and, unrest, social unrest. I'm one of the few governors left in the COVID era. There's only a handful of us that could talk about all those scars and the mistakes that were made and the lessons learned and the humility that comes with that. And so I'm on the other side. And I think people, if you've noticed anything about me, is you feel that a little bit. That I'm smash mouth about some of this stuff. I think Trump is one of the most destructive presidents and human beings in my lifetime. I think this republic is at real risk, this country being unrecognizable. And I have no patience for people that want to indulge it. I can't stand the crony capitalism. I can't stand all these supplicants that are sitting there bending the knee to this president. I can't stand the universities that have done that, the law firms that have done that, the individual corporate leaders that have done that, the other governors, maybe Democrats and Republicans that have been complicit at this moment. This guy is reckless. He's wrecked this country. We'll not have a fair and free election if we don't continue to fight. That's what matters to me, seriously. I'm the future ex-governor, and who the hell knows what happens the rest of my life, except one thing I know that matters in the rest of my life is I have to look at my kids in the goddamn eye. I mean that, seriously. That's not like a politician thing, to look them in the eye and say that not a peril of being judged, not to have lived in the moment. So that's what animates me, but it's not some grand plan. So paradox, bring it on. Contradictions, bring it on. Contradictions, but that I think I can explain.